Okay, take two. Gotta love technology, hey? So this time around, we are welcome to Unstoppable Entrepreneur Season 1, Episode number 6, which is all around health, mindset, motivation, and being able to keep going and keep doing what it is that you want to do while you're growing your business. So we're going to repeat some of the stuff that I said before. Now, please just let me know that you can hear me and that we've got an okay connection this time around. Just type a comment in here, let me know, or flick a love heart or a thumbs up or something, please, and thank you. So a big reason that I wanted to start having this conversation today is that so many people, when they're looking at building their business, they are in constant hustle mode. Now, a lot of the time what that looks like is they get up early, they go to bed late, they pull all-nighters, they just, honestly, they really just don't stop. And I think hustle gets a really bad name. Now, this kind of way of growing your business, number one, it's not sustainable, and I know I've tried. Number two, it's not conducive for a really great mindset. So I was talking with some clients of mine in Vegas just last weekend as we were wrapping up and finishing a full 5-day immersion. And one of the big things that we were talking about was how to keep going and really what it was like for me early on at the start of doing what it was that I was doing. Now, for those of you that don't know me or know my story, I have 3 children. I was in corporate world for 12 years and I wanted to start my own business. And a big part of that was so that I could spend more time with families, so that we could make more money and, have more fun ultimately at the end of the day. Now, the thing that I screwed up, and I did this like a professional, the thing that I really screwed up at the start was around managing my own self-care. Now, back then I'm like, I don't even care about self-care. I've got to get the runs on the board. I've got to get the results. I've got to get stuff going. I've got to make stuff happen. Now, yes, that's true to a point. However, what that led to was me getting up super early, throwing the kids at school and daycare, and then coming back and working incessantly, going and picking up the kids, throwing food down their faces, and then working really late at night. Now, that led probably reasonably quickly to adrenal fatigue. I would say that I was very much masking this, masking not getting results with being really busy, masking fear with just being constantly go, 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 go. Now, now knowing what I know now, like number one, it's just not sustainable, right? It is not a great way of growing business. Will it get your results? Yeah, but they're not going to be long-term and ongoing. So some of the really big things that I would very, very strongly suggest that you do is, break up your life into different categories. So I'm thinking health, mindset, money, relationships, social, soul. What else? What else have I got going on there? I can't see my family. They're probably the really big things, right? So what you want to do throughout, and then perhaps business, what you want to do every single day is make sure that you're doing something out of those categories to keep yourself progressing forward. So if you're thinking about, if you think health is maybe a little lower on the priority list at the moment because you're growing, then what is it that you can do in order to even just look after one element of your health throughout every single day? Now, that might be going and sitting for 5 minutes, right? Like, I know you're busy. I don't want to make this harder than what it needs to be. So what can you do to manage your health for that particular day? What can you do to manage your mindset? And it might be spending 5 minutes reading some kind of motivational book. It might be that you put an app on your phone or on your computer that blocks Facebook, for example, so that you just don't even pay any attention to the stuff that's going on there. Because here's what we know, right? Facebook is like the black hole of time. You're like, oh, I'm just going to jump in there for 2 minutes, and then next minute is like an hour has gone by and you've looked at the competition, you've seen other ads coming through your feed, and you're just like, oh man, this just sucks. You know, you've got all of that stuff going on, right? Now, you can let me know if this has happened to you. Like, I know it's happened for me, where I, particularly early on, I would be looking for inspiration in my newsfeed. And instead of feeling inspired, I'd spend too much time. I'd see other people's stuff going on, and then I would start to beat myself up. Self-doubt would kick in, fear would kick in. So number one, like, it's not good for your mental health, and it's surely not good for your mindset, and it's not really good for your creativity as well, right? So look at the different things that you can utilize in order to manage your health. Another thing, and your mindset. One of the other things that I did before I could afford it was to get someone in to help me around the house. So what I did, I employed this lady, her name was Bev, and one of the big reasons that I employed her was as a personal assistant to me. I was not good at feeding myself through the day, because I'd just be like my blinkers would be on, I'd be doing what it was that I was trying to do and get things moving and growing. And I would forget to eat lunch, or I would, I would string it out right to the very end. So I'd run out, grab food, come back, and then run again. So one of her main jobs was to make sure that I was eating well and eating regularly. And so she just put the food in front of me, and that worked really, really, really excellently. So I think some of the other categories that we tend to forget along the way is health, obviously, managing a mindset, and then also some sense of spirituality, whatever that might be for you. So I look at this like it might be meditating, it might be learning more, like personal growth. I think that is a really big part of you nurturing and growing your soul state. For some people, it's prayer. For some people, it's excuse me, meditation, like that type of thing. But it's really important that you also think about, all right, well, what is it that I can do to also grow, that can also grow your spirit? And I think a big part of that is around that personal growth piece that does not necessarily have anything to do with business. Right? So typically a lot of the time, I mean, okay, cool. So what's the next thing that I need to learn? And my thing is, most of the time is, all right, business, because I know I can get an ROI from that. But rather than thinking about it in that way, I like to go, all right, well, how about we look at it? What is it that I want to learn? How is it that I want to grow personally that I know will always have a payoff professionally as well? So I think that that's really, really important. I think another big thing, and this is a really big misnomer in the entrepreneurial space, is around balance, right? Now, a lot of us are like, oh, I want to be able to grow this business so that I can have more balance, so that I can create more time. And I think you can start that right now. Okay, rather than waiting later on down the track, you can start this right now. So how can you create blocks of time? So this is the other thing around managing your mindset. How can you create some blocks of time so that you can create balance now rather than down the track? So as an example, yesterday I flew in, I've been traveling for 30 hours. I finally got home. It's the first day of the school holidays for my children. So it was actually brilliant timing. So we went out for breakfast, we went to the movies, we kind of hung out, came back, we played cards for a lot of the day. I sort of tidied up a little bit of things that I was doing for work, but it was pretty much a self-recovery day yesterday. And then what I look at today is like, yes, it's still school holidays, but I'm, like I've said to the kids, guys, I'm in work mode today. But what we did this morning, so we went for a morning walk. So my oldest daughter, she's 15, she didn't come because, sleeping. But the other kids, we've all gone for a walk and then come home, and then we played some cards, and, I knew that I was starting my day at 9, for this, even though the internet was being a pain in the ass. So I'm looking at that. So I don't think balance needs to be in equal amounts of time. I think a lot of the time we think balance, you're thinking about the scales. It's like the same amount of work to the same amount of pleasure and play and work and stuff like that. Where if you're thinking about balance in that way, in my opinion, it's really setting yourself up for feeling like a failure. You're not failing, but feeling like a failure. Feeling like you're this incessant juggle just is not always working, right? So rather than looking at balance like an evenly split amount of time, look at balance like, all right, so I've got this to be able to do this time, and then another time I'm going to go do that. I think self-care is really important though, because number one, your adrenals can't sustain you constantly going. Your body can't sustain constant cortisol being pumped into your bloodstream, pumped into your body to keep you moving. Something will give along the way. So creating the space for self-care now, rather than when I've like rather than making it a goal-orientated thing, it's got to be in there now. What else do I want to talk to you about? Oh, this is another really cool thing. So one of the things that I really wanted to do, so like the first few years, not great health for me. And then I was like, you know what, if I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and if I want it to grow and expand, then there's got to be some way that health has to become one of the priorities in my life. And so the thing that I did, I hated going to the gym. I really wanted a personal trainer, but I didn't want to have to go and leave the house because I knew that it would be half an hour to get there, half an hour to come back, and all the faffing about. So I actually hired an online personal trainer. So what we would do is, and if you're thinking about this, it is the best thing. Honestly, for me, it was one of the best things I ever did. She was based in Sydney. I was based in Mildura, so I live in the middle of nowhere. We would train on Skype at least twice a week. So it'd be a bit like this, except that we'd have we'd both share cameras, right? So she'd be on camera, I'd be on camera, and I'd be training like literally in here doing whatever it was that I needed, whatever it was that she told me to do. Okay, so it meant that in 45 minutes, it was in and out, all done, all sorted, ready to go and smash out the day. So that way I was still able to manage health, and then we'd stretch together and then get straight back into work. So I guess like at the end of the day, the thing that I really want you guys to be thinking about is how can you hack your own success? So you're looking at mindset hacks. Have things around the place that really remind you of why it is that you're doing what you're doing. So I want to show you guys. I'm just going to turn this camera around. So I've got things like all over my office wall. Oh, we're on a tripod and the tripod doesn't want to play. Hang on a second. So I've got like fun, trust. I've got the packages and programs. I've got different things on here so that I am constantly being motivated. I've got my vision board up there. I've got my sales figures over there. I've got like these things here are client results. I trust that this is being shown in the right way around, because that would be a bit awkward otherwise. So, I'm looking at the hacks that you can implement in order for you to be able to get to where you want to be in a more sustainable way. So things around you are really important. Creating a list of what you're going to utilize in each of those categories. Now, so those categories were, and of course I missed the most important one. So fun, social, family, soul, money, health, mindset, relationships, business. So those categories, that when you're looking after each of those categories on a daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly basis, and then ongoing, it's going to mean that what you're creating and the way that you're creating it is actually a hell of a lot more sustainable. It means, as I was saying before, like your health is critically important. Without your health, you're screwed, right? And let's face it, not in a good way. So without your health, you're stuffed. Like, you're not going to be able to go and travel. You're not going to be able to be energized and ready in the morning to step into your day. You're not going to be able to, you're just, quite frankly, you're not going to even be feeling creative. So what is it that you want to do to be able to manage your self-care, to be able to get to where it is that you want to be in a longer, sustainable fashion that doesn't have you kind of like keeling over and succumbing to that dreaded, horrible mindset that most of us try to outrun. Alrighty? So that's pretty much our episode today. If you've got any questions about this, then please let me know. Like, what is it that you guys do to manage your mindset? What is it that you do for self-care? One of the things that I'd love to share with you, and you can just type in the comments if this is something that you'd like. I can't see any of them today. I don't know what's going on there. I blame jet lag, but you know, who knows? Let me know if you guys would like a checklist to be able to work through so that you've got some sort of structure in order to be able to put up on your wall or something like that, where you're like, right, this is what I really need to be focusing on every day to make sure that you're creating a sustainable business and a sustainable mindset. Let me know and I'll shoot it through. It won't take me long to get that done. Alrighty. So that is that for us today. Let me know that this is making sense. Let me know that this is really important stuff for you. I think that it is. It's not just about the marketing tactic or that this is how you do the blah, blah, blah thing. You know, you want to be able to manage and mitigate this in an ongoing way. All right. Now, next week, just so that you know, oh my gosh, we are talking all about, let me see, what are we talking about next week? That's a little bit awkward. All right, let's go like that. Downloads, we are going into episode number 7. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so sorry. I can't even tell you what we're doing. That's a bit rough. We're talking about content creation. Awesome. So how to create content next week. Now, you guys are going to love this. So today is a lot more about, obviously, like little mindset hacks, health hacks, things to get you moving and going on. Next week, we're going to be talking about content creation, which is one of my most favorite things to talk about, and you'll actually have a strategy with how to get out there and do that. All right, so my name is Nicola. I will talk to you through the week most likely. Today was a bit shorter because I'm practicing what I'm preaching, which is around self-care and taking it a little bit easy once you've done that really big thing that you've been doing. All right, guys, have a really great week, and I'll talk to you soon. See you later, bye.